Hey everybody, Pastor Bill here. On this episode of Fixing Things, I got another electrical thing we're going to be working on today. We're going to be adding two outlets to one side of my garage over here. One to power up my grinder, which you can't really see right now. It's behind my Fixing Things signs, which one of my people made for me. Thank you so much. It's tight back here. First thing I want to do is I want to get a conduit run from here to here. So we're going to measure the distance between and cut a piece of conduit. Then we're going to put two connectors on boxes, put it all together and screw it together. 56 and a half. Remember that, 56 and a half. 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 All right. What was that number again? 48 and a half. 56 and a half. All right, this was a used piece of conduit, and you can tell by where it got locked in before. Got a little bit of rust where it's been sitting outside. I don't throw them away. I reuse them. I don't like to recycle, but I reuse them. All right. This is a conduit reaming tool made by Klein's. A couple other companies make them too. You can see it a little bit tight going in where it was squeezed because they over tightened the connector. Here's the spot we cut. See that, how nasty it is? Put the conduit reaming tool in and turn. And you're reaming it. And you can see the stuff just shredding away. The shredder. So the tool's got some teeth on it, and that's made of some really hard steel. And afterwards, smooth. You can run your finger in it, and it shouldn't give you no splinters. Now we got to put some connectors on two boxes. One on the box we're putting it in, one on the box on the wall. All right, so the first thing we want to do is put a connector on. And we're using 1/2-inch pipe. This is a 1/2-inch connector. And so you knock out one of the KO blanks. I try to use one a little different than that. I'm going to stay away from the center one so the wires are not hitting the outlets. Hit the box from the outside, pull the KO out from the inside. Unscrew your thing off there, your nut off the end of the connector. Get it kind of finger tight. Then take your Klein's, grab the connector and twist it tight. Take your box you're getting ready to use on the other side over here. Make sure you get a green screw in it. I already got a green screw in this one. And what you want to do is on the same one, I'll put my ground screw on away from the part what I'm going to do and knock out your KO that corresponds with the KO that's over here. Put your connector in, put your nut on, and then with just as it's finger tight, take your Kleins. That joker's tight. Now we're gonna mount this to the wall over there. What was that measurement? 56.5. Take your conduit, put it on your pipe. Your box on your conduit. My conduit's a little bent. And take your Kleins level, put it on your conduit, get you a screw, set it up in your impact. As soon as your box gets level, your pipe gets level, conduit. Downtown. Two screws. Supposed to have two means of support on your box. Tighten up your set screws. Conduit's tight. Now we get to wire this thing. All right, earlier, 2 videos ago, I cut a wire too short. It was today, only about an hour ago. Hour and a half ago, maybe 2, I don't know. But I cut the wire short and I said, well, we ain't gonna waste it because I still got more to do. So we're gonna push this one through. Because I ain't gonna throw it away. Copper's expensive. And now we're gonna make sure we're not working on a hot circuit. So this device here is a circuit tester. It's a hot stick. And what it does, if you have a hot wire, it tells you if that circuit is hot or not. Doesn't tell you if it's correct. It can help you determine if the circuit's correct, but it'll tell you if something's hot or not. And you don't want to be working on a hot circuit. It'll let you know right quick, light you up. So the first thing we want to do is on the wire that's coming in, the ground wire coming in, we want to hook this ground wire to the ground screw. The ground wire straight to the bonding screw. So what I do is I take my finger and I come over and I take it to the center of that screw, pull it back, put my wire strippers on it, and just pull that wire back like that. Get about 1 inch Then make sure the screw's loose a little bit. Then put it on that, around that screw, tighten it up. Then tighten up the ground screw. That is the correct method of bonding the box. Now you have all this, and you're going to have one less wire in a wire nut. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to pull this back over to the corner, pull the other green up to the corner, and we're going to cut the wires approximately 6 inches outside the box, the ground wires. Now we're going to strip these 2 wires. Approximately about 5/8 of an inch. And we're going to twist these 2 wires together. Now we're going to, since these wires are going to be connected to these, we're also going to do the same to these. All right, so now we're ready to put the RS cover on. I have 2 old RS covers already made up. This one somebody else made up, I'll show you it. And this one I made up a long time ago. It was on one of my rolly carts that we pushed around in the schools. So we have, the pigtails are hanging out. And the way I do it is, the hot one comes into the hot side and then loops around without making a break in it and jumps over to the other side. Same thing on a neutral wire, it goes in, it loops around without breaking the contact, comes over, hooks on the other side. Same thing with the ground wire, it does all the same thing. That way, all I gotta do now is hook these wires up to these and mount it to the box. Hopefully I got enough wire nuts. Oh yeah. Now we'll go over to the other one. All right, so now we got it all buttoned up over there. We're gonna put the power to it. So this is the circuit that runs it. This is my last wire that I have. I have more conduit in here that has nothing in it, but that's gonna be a future, my air compressor in my back room and my heating and air conditioning. So it's going to be right here on, where is it at? It's going to be over here on this circuit. It's a 20 amp circuit. So we're going to fish this wire. And this is a hot panel. Make sure this breaker is off. You don't test the circuit, see if it works on the thing, because there's too many other circuits close. All right, so now we're going to put the wire underneath the corresponding lug. Tighten up the lug on the wire. Don't over tighten it. Why aren't you using gloves, Pastor Bill? Well, if you feel safe doing gloves, go right ahead. On these square D boxes, they're not Phillips, they're square, they're little square things, or you can use a flat blade. After you get it tight, pull on it. Make sure she's in there. Tuck your wires away so your box cover is not going to pinch on it. Nice and neat. Now we're going to turn the circuit on, see if we have the magic smoke. If you got the magic smoke, you did it wrong. If this thing trips, you got a short. If it didn't trip, then you're going on to the next one. We'll test the circuit. No magic smoke. Breaker staying on. Let's go test the circuit. All right, so this is a bug-eyed circuit tester. That's what we call it in the electrical field. Some of you guys may call it something else. It's a circuit tester. When you have two yellow lights, you're right. If you have a red one and one yellow one, you got something wired wrong. My sticker's off. Usually these come with a thing that tells you what's wrong with it. You test every outlet. Two yellow lights, that means you're right. Two yellow lights, that means you're right. You know what that means? That means I can plug my grinder in. Fix up my stand. Now my grinder's plugged in. Let's see if it works. Success. And I want to thank a couple of my Sparky watchers that are out there who let me know that in a couple of my videos, he's seen my cover off of my panel box. All right, he says, it's typical. Most electricians leave their covers off their load centers. So we're gonna put it on today, all right? So I counted down, I got 7 on one side breakers and 8 on the other. And it comes with its own screws, and you're supposed to use panel screws. If you don't get panel screws, you have panel screws with your cover. These are a number 10, but they're made specific for panels, and I'll show you why. On the screw, if I can get it turned around, it's made so it won't hit the wire on the inside, or it won't pinch the wire. It's smoothed off. So it's designed for panel box, so it rather pushes the wire in than grab into the wire and poke on it. Plus they're fine thread, not a coarse thread. These are specific for load centers. These are not threaded. Let me get my square tip from my impact. All square D devices uses a square tip. And all the things, the lugs, everything is square tipped. So when you got a square tip, it goes in easy. When you're my cover face, my panel face is on. My panel cover is on. Pretty good. It comes with 3 extra screws. It's a good safety thing. You don't want stuff falling in your bus bars. That's going to be it on this episode of Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Hey, if you like these videos, my electrical videos and all my other videos, and make sure you like and subscribe. I would sure appreciate it. It helps me out. Also, always be safe when you're around electricity. You can kill yourself. I'm an electrician. I may do some dumb stuff on my shows, but I try to be safe. Hey, I got my outlets in my garage now. That's good. And my cover's on my panel box. Thanks for pointing that out to me. Sometimes I just wait and I procrastinate. It happens. But it's on, it's safe now. And you don't have to worry about some little kid falling into the panel or dropping something metal into the panel, we're good. God bless each and every one of you. We got a lot of stuff coming up tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the start on the F600 truck, and we have the brakes bled. And my son came over and on Sunday, and we did some more bleeding on it just to make sure I got all the air out, because I was by myself and I didn't like the way the vacuum pump was working. And we also adjusted the rear brakes. So we're gonna get that truck running and drive it tomorrow. God bless each and every one of you. Did I say it already? Hey, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He's the one who gives me the strength, because, oh, I ain't got it myself. I like this video. Is a good video. I didn't have to pick up nothing heavy. God bless you.